Here is the latest from K2 Radio News.
Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon says that rumors about migrants being housed or transported to Wyoming with his support are completely false. In a recent post on his Facebook page, Gordon said that Wyoming has not and will not provide support or resources to organized efforts to relocate immigrants to our state and will resist any organized attempts by the federal government or others to do so to the fullest extent of the law. He likewise said that rumors he met with the mayor of Denver or anyone else to arrange transport for migrants or that state resources are being used to house migrants in Wyoming are categorically false and a lie. The Republican says that he's committed to a secure border, adding that all states, including Wyoming, are border states now. During a House Natural Resources Committee hearing this month, Harriet Hageman spoke about the Bureau of Land Management's ability to lease out federally owned lands. Hageman says the BLM is attempting to take control of federal lands to the point that they alone would be allowed to decide how it's used or if it's used at all.
It's becoming harder and harder for each new generation to use and enjoy our public lands because the BLM is locked in on its goal to lock out land users, including recreationists, livestock raisers, and energy producers. Earlier this year, the BLM proposed the so-called Landscape Health Rule, which seeks to replace productive activities under the BLM's multiple use framework by creating an additional use, so-called conservation leases, a designation never approved by Congress. The current framework already balances conservation with other uses. Creating an entirely new use under the umbrella of conservation is simply a means to eliminate other uses and bar anyone from even setting foot on these lands.
Congresswoman Hageman announced that she will host 3 town halls next week in Johnson, Bighorn, and Park counties. After several weeks in Washington, the Congresswoman says there are many issues to discuss, including the Biden border crisis, more reckless government spending, the status of foreign aid for Israel and Ukraine, and many more bills that she's introduced or has passed into the House of Representatives. You can find dates and locations by heading to k2radio.com. The University of Wyoming football held its annual NFL Pro Day on Tuesday, and the interest in former Cowboys was high as 26 NFL teams were represented to work out 10 draft-eligible pokes. While NFL representatives don't release official testing data from Pro Day, some of the highlights of the day were improvement on combine numbers from Frank Crum and Easton Gibbs. Also strong numbers testing from Trayton Welch as he, alongside Ayer Asante and Colin O'Brien, caught passes and drills from quarterback Andrew Peasley that showed off the arm strength and pass-catching abilities from the group. Corners Ja'Cory Hawkins and Darren Harrell tested well alongside defensive tackle Cole Godbout, who worked in drills alongside his offensive counterpart Crum. The 26 teams on campus marks the third time since 2019 that 23 or more teams have visited Laramie on Pro Day, showing the consistent and growing interest in players being produced by Cowboy football over the past several years. From Casper, this is Colby Fedor.